Hey everyone, so today I have a special video for you guys. We filmed a Q&A together, me and Kathrine. So we did it in a podcast format because, as some of you guys may know, I started my podcast. So what you're about to see is going to be a short version of that longer podcast. So if you want to see the whole podcast episode, you can subscribe on Apple iTunes and link in the description box below. But anyways, enjoy this amazing relationship Q&A that me and Kathrine did.
Yeah, hope you like it.
Oh my god.
And that was the sound of this amazing green drink that I'm drinking before today's podcast. Got some Thrive here from Viva Life. This is not a sponsored post, or actually it is. I'm sponsored by Viva Life.
Yeah.
Okay. It is a sponsored post, actually. Yeah, check them out. Awesome. Green stuff. Yeah, check it out. Link in the description box. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast. Today is a very special episode because my guest today is no one other than my beautiful wife, Kathrine Moen.
Hello.
And this is the first podcast we ever do together. This is the first podcast you ever do in your life, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. You must be so nervous right now. Kathrine's probably trembling.
No, I'm all right.
We figured we'd ask you guys on Instagram to ask us some questions related to our relationship and just anything in general that, relates to our life.
So first one is, when did you start hitting the gym?
I actually started the gym after Kathrine.
Yeah.
After Kathrine. So when did you start?
I don't know the exact year or date I started hitting the gym because I used to be active in kind of different ways before I hit the gym. Like I was running, did some track and fields, then did some weightlifting every now and then during school, high school, stuff like that. And then afterwards, but I've been pretty active my whole life.
In sports and everything,
but
yeah.
I think when I really started going to the gym was maybe 8 years ago. Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds right. I mean, I've been going to the gym a little bit, 7 or 8 years. So
yeah.
Or actually, I say 7 years. I don't know if the timeline is correct, but that's what I tell people. I've been training
maybe
for
9
7
years, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's been a little bit on and off.
Yeah. You're not like a professional bodybuilder where you're training super hard 2 hours a day in the gym and that kind of stuff. You just do it recreationally. Yeah. And she inspired me to train more in the gym, and without Kathrine having, this exposure or this interest in weightlifting, I probably wouldn't have been, interested as soon as I was. And I started pretty late. I started when I was 22 or 21 or something like that. So I didn't start weightlifting young at all. Next one is, veganism was a real couple decision, or was it more coming from your wife or you?
We did it together. We watched Earthlings together. We decided that we're going to watch it. And then after watching Earthlings, we decided that we're going to go vegan. So we basically just went vegan on the spot.
Yeah.
Or I went vegan straight away. And then Jon went vegan the day after because he had to have one last Ben & Jerry's cookie dough flavor. And good news now, though, that it's actually out, the vegan version.
Yeah, it's out, but I haven't tried it. Yeah, we're so excited. That was our favorite, thing to binge on.
It's been 4 years since you had one.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, but yeah, we made a decision together.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Do you want to take the next one? Yeah, I think that these kind of things are it's a lot easier to do these big decisions or lifestyle changes together as opposed to separate, because if you're only one party is interested in a big change, then it's going to be a little bit of a difficult situation. There might be, some conflicts in the future. There might be some disagreement. And, it works for some people. Some people can, have a relationship together where one is doing a completely different lifestyle to the other. But a lot of the times, it's a lot easier if you do things together, because then you're on the same page 100% of the time.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on. What is the key to a loving and happy relationship?
Well, that's a very, very loaded question. And I think we've been together for 8 years, so we have, some experience. We're not we haven't been married for 20 years or 50 years or anything like that. But from our experience, what would you say that the answer is?
Communication, definitely.
100%.
And then also just learning to accept yourself and your partner like they are.
Yeah, and those are the hardest things.
Like it has to be unconditional. Like it can't be like conditional love. It has to be like unconditional love for it to work properly. And that can be hard sometimes because, you know, some people might have a view of how they want their life to be like, or what they want their partner to be like. And of course, your partner is not you. You're not the same person. You're going to have different view on things. You're going to, like different things sometimes. Yeah. It's not going to be, you're not going to have the same opinions on everything. So you have to just communicate and then work together and then try to listen and be open to understanding each other. And just willing to learn from each other as well. And each other's history. A
lot of times when relationships fail, it is 100% or almost 100% of the time is because of communication or you know, like something else.
You have to be honest. Like honesty is so important. Don't hide things from each other or do.
And it's really hard. It's really hard to do, like, to when you don't trust any, like you can grow up in a situation where you grow up your entire life distrusting people because of, you know, something personal that happened in your life that made you traumatized in some way. So it's really hard to get to that place where you're fully accepting of yourself and your partner, and also communicating at a very, very high level. Those things are not easy, and I think when we started, we were not that great at it, actually. You know,
it's been a journey.
It's been a big journey, and you know, and that is why I feel like our relationship keeps renewing. It feels like every day I wake up, like I'm more in love with you than the day before, because it's like we keep evolving. We're
growing together. Like
we're growing together all the time.
We made a decision that we're gonna grow together. We're gonna like be honest to each other, talk to each other about different things. Our view on things and just what we want in life, and then we share that with each other, and then we work on it.
Question from Toby Jefferson, and he's asking the question that everyone is asking: are you guys planning on having more kids?
Everyone is asking us that all the time. I feel like you just have one kid, and then the first thing someone asks you is, are you gonna have another one, like straight after you popped out the baby? It's like, give me a break.
Exactly.
Give me a break. Give us a moment to just think about it. Or not think about it, but I mean, what we want to do or what we're focusing on is just appreciating our baby, Noah, right now. We're not planning on another kid. We're just taking it day by day. And then when time is ready, I think we would probably like another one.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that, like Kathrine says, I think there's a right time for like you'll feel ready when you know you're ready to have another one, and if at all, like if you don't feel like things change, and things change pretty quick. I mean, like, you know, I could not have imagined the life that we're living right now just like 3 years ago. Like, there is no way. I never thought I would have a baby, a beautiful baby that was like now like so important to me, and it was like the center of my life. I never thought that was going to be the case 2 years ago. So things change really quick, and who knows what we're going to want in, you know, a year's time. We'll keep you guys updated, or probably not. It'll probably just, you know, all of a sudden be out and just kidding. Kathrine might be pregnant right now as we speak. Who knows?
I'm not. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Okay, great question. Okay, well,
that's kind of the same as the other one.
Yeah.
We don't really plan.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So we don't have any specific plans on where we want to live, how many kids we want to have, what we want to do, like exactly in 5 years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
We basically try to live in the moment.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Yeah. And, you know, yeah, exactly. That is how we live our life. And it's not, you know, the best way for everyone, but it's just what works for us right now. Now, the thing that we've been spending a lot of energy in and time thinking about is where do we want to live? So we oftentimes go to a place for weeks at a time to experience how it is to live in a place, to see if that would potentially be a good place to live in the future. And, you know, I figured like we felt like we were stressing a little bit too much about it. Like, you know, why do we have to, you know, figure this out right now? Like, why stress about it? Why not just take it easy? And whenever a amazing location pops up that feels right
Yeah.
to us at that time, then we can make a decision. But for now, we're taking it easy. So 5 years
Yeah.
from now, no idea. We'll have a 5-6 year old. So that's
Yeah, that's crazy.
that's gonna be crazy. Wow.
Probably, maybe another child. Who knows? Maybe we have a house. It's all just maybes.
Yeah,
Because we don't know.
we're gonna have to sell a
feel
lot
like-
more Vivo Life protein before we can afford a house. But
Yeah.
we
But
can dream.
I feel like there was a time, like you said, where we tried to plan things. We felt like we really had to figure out everything, where we wanted to live. Just we had to figure out things in our life. Like things had to be planned.
Yeah.
But then it stressed us out a bit, and we forgot to just enjoy the now.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to just chill out and then let things fall into place when time is right.
Hardest thing about being parents. So, great question. What do you think, Kathrine? You're the mom. You're the one that is doing the heavy lifting here. What is the hardest thing about being parents for you?
I think the hardest thing must be just the worry that you didn't have before, and then suddenly you have to worry about things that you didn't even think about before. Like all the decisions you need to make because you want to make the best decision for your baby when it comes to everything. We try to like do our research when it comes to everything, like the products we put on his skin if we need to, or just the products we buy, the clothes we buy. We want to be like healthy and as good as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Or when he got sick for the first time, it was
Oof.
very worrying. It was so bad. Like that was like one of the worst things ever. It was scary, and it was just a new thing, and we felt like, because we were responsible for him, but we don't know what to do or how to help him. But he had like a fever, and he was just like ill, and I felt so sad for him. So I think that was definitely the hardest moment, I think. And then of course when they cry, and you do your best to soothe them and help them, but then they have maybe stomach pain and you can't help, and they just have to cry, and that's like the hardest things. When you
What
I
about
think-
the sleep?
Yeah, the hardest things is, I think, when your baby cries and you can't really like help them in the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's horrible.
And of course, like the sleep,
Yeah.
like no sleep. But I think when they're breastfeeding, I think you get like some special, amazing hormones
Yeah, I
that
don't know
make
how
you
you do
cope
it.
every day. Because surprisingly, with little sleep, I still feel fine. Like
Yeah,
during
I
the
don't
day.
know how it's possible. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
would
crazy.
die literally
think-
after like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but the female body is just amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just meant to do this, I think. So when you're in this situation, it's still fine. But of course, it's hard sometimes with the sleep. And then it can also be challenging with just a change in your life, because we lived together for several years before we had a baby.
Mhm.
We traveled a lot. We were used to just
Yeah.
thinking about ourselves. And but I don't know. A lot of people think that's going to be like super hard and that's going to be the worst thing. But it's been fine. I think we're ready for it.
Mhm.
And it's been a fun, good, great, amazing experience to go through together. So we've just been enjoying it as a family. This is a new chapter, and it's exciting.
Yeah, for me, the hardest thing is just timing everything so that I have enough time in a day to do everything that I feel I need to do to check all the boxes in terms of happiness and business and fun and pleasure and that kind of stuff. Like just having time to do everything and just fitting it all together without over planning everything and still being present. It's a challenge, and it's still a balance that I'm trying to figure out in my own life. For Kathrine, it's just like, it's 24/7, right? Like you are a 24/7 mom right now, pretty much.
I'm choosing to be
Exactly.
Like this is what I want. I want to spend as much time with Noah as I can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the situation was where I would have to take a lot more care of Noah, then I'm sure that my list of challenges would have been like endless. As long as I'm able to spend a good amount of time every single day with Kathrine and Noah, then a big box is checked out of my day, and then it's just off to the next things. And it's basically the other things that I'm not, that I'm struggling with, not the actual getting enough family time in, because that is what I'm prioritizing now. So yeah, it's the other things that I'm struggling to get in, like gym time, enough work time, like time at the office doing things, time planning videos and podcasts and ideas. That's what I struggle with. It's just time management, and I'm sure it's going to get a lot better and easier with time. We've only been doing this for 10 months, so there is still time to figure it out, and I feel like I got way better than I was before. So it's a journey.
Hi, where are you actually from?
Oh yeah, I mean,
so
okay.
I told you guys in the beginning that I'm Norwegian.
Yeah.
And then John.
I was born in the States. My mom is Brazilian. My dad is Norwegian.
All right, John. John.
Did you call me Gone?
Yeah, John. I got a question.
Have you taken your B12 today?
Yeah, I have actually. How's being a father?
It's both more challenging and more rewarding than I imagined, and I feel good as a like calling myself a dad, and like I just feel like it's something that I definitely think is an important part of being human, because whether or not you want kids, that's a completely different personal question, or like a decision that you have to make. But for me and for my ambitions and my will to understand life, like I think being a parent and going through that is something that is going to teach so much, so many life lessons in being a parent. And I'm always all about like personal development. Like I'm really into that stuff, and I think since having Noah, it's been just crazy how much I've learned in terms of mindset, being present, looking at things from a neutral perspective. So next question is, do you guys drink alcohol at all? So yeah, do we drink alcohol?
I can't even remember the last time I had a drink of alcohol.
Yeah, of course you can. Come on.
When was it?
Our wedding, of course.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Probably, which is like almost 2 years ago, which is a long time ago, right?
Yeah, I don't think I had any alcohol after our wedding. No.
Yeah, I have had it.
You've had like a couple glasses of wine or something every now and then.
That doesn't count.
But we've never like been like a party couple or party people.
No, not really.
Since we met, we've gone out like a few times together to party and stuff. But the last few years we've not had much alcohol at all.
Yeah, no, we definitely haven't. I don't really consider like having a glass of wine once in a while as actually drinking alcohol. For me, when I hear drinking, I think full on getting drunk and that kind of stuff, getting wasted, which we haven't done since the wedding basically. How did you guys meet?
All right, so we met because John went to jail.
Going straight for the juice.
Had to move to Norway. He didn't have to, but he chose to move to Norway.
Yeah. Are you not going to elaborate on that? Because like people are going to be like, "What? Like, am I listening?"
Okay, yeah, you've told the story before, but maybe a lot of you don't know. But you can say why you went to jail. Yeah,
well, I'm gonna do like a very short, quick version. Yeah. I just I was climbing buildings with my brother doing parkour, on top of like shopping centers, and then.
This was in the States, in Texas.
Exactly. Right? I was like smoking on the rooftop and that kind of stuff. And then the police came and arrested us. And basically I got told in court that if I got to any trouble at all, within the next 3 months, I would be sentenced to jail. So then the safest bet for me was to leave the country because chances were pretty high that I was going to get into trouble again.
Why?
Well, just because, I look Brazilian. No, just kidding. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just a magnet for trouble. You
didn't want to risk it at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk it. So the only place I had to go was to this tiny little village in the middle of nowhere in Norway. And this village only has 800 people living in it. My grandpa is one of them, and I went to live with him. And then I got a couple of nice friend requests on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically I'm from this tiny village where everyone knows each other. John was playing soccer or football on the soccer team in the village. So I heard about him from a cousin, and then they're like, okay, there's this like new guy playing soccer. Have you seen him? And I'm like, oh, no, I don't. And then I looked him up, like his name on Facebook, looked at his picture. I was like, okay, he looks pretty cool. Looks interesting, like an interesting guy.
I think my profile picture at the time was me with like super long hair.
Yeah, but you did have like other pictures and stuff as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, the profile picture was like you with a hat on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you look cute.
Always wearing a hat. Still
and then
am.
I was like, okay, he probably doesn't have many friends. He's like a lonely
Did you say
guy.
I probably don't have any friends?
Yeah, in the village.
Okay.
Because you weren't like new there, and
Yeah.
and I know that people in the village usually don't like contact people or talk to them that much. So I probably
very lonely.
Yes, I knew that he was probably like lonely, and I was like, yeah, okay, maybe I should just message him. And then I wrote to you on Facebook and just said like, hi, how are you enjoying the village and playing on the football team?
And then you sent me a nude right afterwards.
No, that's
Just
not
kidding,
true.
Guys. I'm just kidding. Kathrine wouldn't do that.
But yeah, and then we talked on Facebook, like on Messenger
Yeah.
and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then we met up with a friend, and then we talked more, and then we met up again, just alone, and then we continued to meet up, and that was it.
So next one is, how did your relationship change after having a child?
Okay, wow. You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
No, Kathrine, this is not how the podcast goes. You're the guest, and you're answering the questions here.
And I'm giving you the honor.
No, you go first. Come on.
All right, so how has our relationship changed?
Just don't tell them about that thing. Just kidding.
Our relationship hasn't really changed that much. I think we already had such a good relationship and good communication and a good base before we decided to have kids, or before we had kids. So it was like we were already off to a great start. There wasn't any problems that needed to be solved, or issues or uncertainties or anything like that. So it hasn't changed in that way. Of course, less quality time together.
Mhm.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Because with a baby, your main focus is the baby. So you don't get to focus as much on each other like we used to. We used to, like, I don't know, go on dates all the time, watch movies together every
night.
single night almost. And now we basically, we have to spend less time together, just the two of us.
Yeah, a lot of times Kathrine goes to bed, I stay up working,
Yeah.
or working out, or doing something that I haven't gotten time to do in the day. So yeah, I'd say just like, that's it. Like the night time that we used to spend together is kind of like used for other things now. But I feel like it's like you say, like we know each other so well that, you know, it's much easier now that even with less communication, we're still, you know, understanding each other well.
And it's actually a good like learning curve and a good thing for us as a couple as well, because we get challenged from having a baby together. We need to communicate in a different way, or figure things out together, or feel tired together, or like we have to go through everything like of parenthood together.
Yeah.
So we learn about each other even more, about our baby, about ourselves. So it's just a good experience.
How do you overcome jealousy? Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I think it's a good one to end it on.
It's just about all the things that we've discussed earlier. Like, you have to communicate, you have to accept each other, you have to be really open and not like hide things from each other. Just know that your partner is open with you, and you have to be open with them, and then talk. Just communicate, talk, and trust. You have to work. It's a process.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in the beginning when we first met, I was more jealous sometimes. Yeah. And then now I don't get jealous, but then I know that sometimes if there's been times where we haven't communicated that much and we've been more like absent from each other, it's easier to get jealous.
Right. Yeah.
But then if you just talk to each other and spend time together, and just when you spend time together, just make sure that that time is well spent.
Yeah.
And then, don't be like distracted on your phone. Or what's really helped us is just going for long walks. That's one of our like favorite things to do together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been one of our favorite things to do together for years as a couple.
Right.
And I think it's helped our relationship a lot. Just like being outside, no phones, and just talking.
100%.
Being present with each other, just appreciating each other and each other's time.
That would be the main recommendation.
And if you just like work on your relationship to get a good relationship, you don't have to worry about jealousy. But you also have to like learn that you're not in control of everything. You have to like let go, accept, and trust.
Yeah, I think that is a That's a great way to end this podcast. I don't have anything else to add to that. Yeah, I think this is amazing. I mean, like I don't know how much the listeners and viewers are enjoying this, because it's a little bit all over the place. But I do feel like you guys got some of Kathrine's wisdom and tips for relationships. And we're not perfect. We're not saying that we have the most perfect epic relationship ever, but I do know that we will continue to work together, and we will continue to learn from each other, teach each other, like be in each other's lives, and communicate intensively. So there is no way that I can ever see our relationship falling apart. And I think, like Kathrine said in the beginning of the video, communication and accepting each other and yourself, those are like the main things that I think are the basis of a successful relationship.
Yeah, life is a journey. Embrace it.
Perfect way to end it, Kathrine. Thank you so much for that quote.
You're welcome.
If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what you want to see on the next episode of the relationship Q&As, or the next episode that we do together. Just let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening in or watching. Really appreciate all the support. Hope you guys are having an amazing day so far, and we'll see you very soon. Peace out.
Bye.